Hi guys, Martine88 here and welcome back to another FIFA 21 video. It's the video that a lot of you have been waiting for. It's my updated tutorial on how to beat Legendary, but we're playing a proper team, so to speak. 84 rated, 100 chemistry, because that's what a lot of you guys have been asking for. Straight into it. On screen at the moment you can see the team that we are playing, and I'm just having a quick check of some of the stats to see whether they are 5-star skillers or what type of pace that they have, just because if they lack pace, like they've got Thiago Silva in this team, I would attack them, and if they've got 5-star skillers, I know what to expect a little bit more from their attack. On screen you can see my team. That's not the way I line up. After this video there is going to be a custom tactics and formation video. It would have been a bit too long just to add into this video here, but this is a little bit different to the tutorial that I put up about a month ago. That was just a real starter's guide. It was like the first week of FIFA, and it was just to help you guys get to like an Elite 1 finish. This is to potentially help some of you get into the top 200 and really progress further. If you're somebody that's playing co-op, this probably isn't for you, but if you're somebody that's looking to progress playing solo, then pin your ears back. I'm sure that this will help a lot of you. So I'm going to refer to the gameplay sometimes, but in the whole it will just be going on behind the scenes, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to get through. I've made a lot of notes based on comments and questions that I've been asked over the last few weeks. Okay, so big thing is this is going to be very tilted towards how to defend. I've had lots and lots of comments from people saying they can score the goals but they just don't know how to defend, and I know a lot of people have been panicking because of the new patches that have been done, but for me it's still the same tactics, and I've played games since the last patch, and yeah, it doesn't faze me, and I'm pretty confident that my tactics will still stand up. I'm getting top 200 every week at the moment anyway, so yeah, I'm quite confident with that. What I'm aiming to do is take you through the full process of when you lose the ball to winning it back, how to win it back, to build your attack, and then to score your goal. So first things first, what I wanted to say from the defending point of view on the 100 chem teams is you must get men behind the ball. I do this by highlighting my CDM. So for me, you can see I'm playing 4-2-3-1, and I have Fred and Wijnaldum as my CDMs. Now wherever I can, I will highlight them and drag them back into defensive position, as I've just done there with Fred, rather than my centre backs, and I would choose to win the ball back that way. Now some of you may or may not be aware, but the AI doesn't attack very quickly at all. Like, let's have a look here. Like, they could have gone forward. He's cut back 2 or 3 times and has allowed me to get back in with Fred and Wijnaldum and to get a defensive shape. If I was to have done that potentially with one of my centre halves, it could be a different story. So sorry, big thing for me is getting the men behind the ball, highlighting the CDMs, and keeping your defensive shape. Now once you've done that and you've got your defensive shape, you need to be using right stick switching, which is the right analog stick. Now that will just allow you to close the AI down a lot quicker and potentially get more interceptions. So that for me is an absolute must, using the right stick switching, and I use it just little tiny bits. If they're attacking my centre back and I think they're a bit too close for comfort, I might just switch back to the CDM for like a second just to get them back in the picture a little bit more. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That potentially could be quite a big thing. As you see, this is probably a good example right here. I've actually got a little bit lucky, but because there was men behind the ball, they weren't able to just completely slice through. Right there is something I was going to touch on a little bit later, but seeing as we did it, I will cover it now. When you do win the ball back, you need to be fully prepared for them to close you down quickly. The first few weeks I was conceding so many goals because I would win the ball back and I would just want to play it straight away. Literally, you cannot always do that. A lot of the time the pass will be open for you to be able to do that. Sometimes you'll have like 4 players coming towards you when you've just won the ball, and that is the time just to protect the ball for a second and to make sure that you don't give it away, and you just have to take that extra second or two to build up your attack. Okay, hopefully we'll see a couple examples of that a little bit later on in the video. If we do, I will point them out. So just to recap what we have said regarding the defending, as we see a chance there, Martial really should score. That's an exact example why I want to get him out of the team. But anyway, back to defending. I get men behind the ball, highlight the CDMs. Ideally you want CDMs with good pace and good agility so that they can jockey. Remember, we're not worried about bringing them back because the AI doesn't attack particularly quickly. As long as you've got your defence there, they will hold them up. Then once we're in place, we're using our right stick switching to close them down. We want to be plugging any gaps where you can see a potential through ball, because that is how the AI likes to score. They like to play through balls, same as us attacking. We're looking for the through balls. When we're defending, the AI is looking for through balls to score, trust me. Whether they are from a long way out, maybe from the halfway line, or whether they are tiki-taka-ing around your box and looking for a tiny little through ball, trust me, that is what they are looking for. Sorry. So, the key there is that when we are switching, you really need to be patient and do not dive in. You need to jockey them. Sometimes this might carry on for 2 or 3 in-game minutes, but you just need to be very, very disciplined, keep them jockeyed, make sure you're not leaving any gaps for them to play a through ball, and literally just wait for their mistake. Now, that might seem like a big ask, basically, but that's how I do it. Now, we know that the AI is a lot better at attacking this year, and that is how it has to be done, right? This is a good example of me winning it back and just protecting it. I'm looking at the little map down the bottom as well, and there was just nowhere to go because I was being fully pressed. But so I literally ran across the pitch with Mendy, kept the ball, was a little bit patient, building the attack up, and we managed to get a goal from it. So yeah, I'm not talking rubbish. That is the thing to do. So yeah, guys, as I was saying, I know that might seem like a big ask, and maybe some of you are better at attacking than what you are defending, but you really need to try and work on those things that I have just suggested if you want to try and keep a clean sheet. So, as you can see in this particular game at the moment, it's 2-0 at half-time. I missed loads of chances, but that's not really the point. The point is that we haven't conceded a goal, and I'm fairly comfortable all the time that we'll end up scoring the 5 goals. As long as you've got a pacey attack, which is absolutely essential this year, you are going to get enough chances to score your goals, particularly if you're defending properly, because the way that the AI attacks and the way that I'm suggesting, I'm not obviously telling you, but suggesting you to defend by getting men behind the ball, when you do win it back, they normally have like 6 people committed forward, so you can literally just play it into your cam, and there should just be a simple through ball on for you to just run in and score, really, as long as you've got good attackers. So the defending kind of goes hand in hand with the attacking, really, because once you've won it, you should have quite an easy attack. So yeah, like I said, that's my advice on how to defend, and how to attack really is very simple, as you've probably already seen from the goals that I've scored. I'm always looking for through balls to my strikers, which is why I leave them all on stay forward, because as soon as we win it, we just hit it upfield and look for the through balls and score our goals that way. So I will let the goals go in. A little bit of a spoiler. Obviously, I do end up winning this 5-0, believe it or not. Hard to believe as it's only 2-0. But I've got a few things that I want to go over regarding your game management, which goes hand in hand towards keeping that vital clean sheet, because I know a lot of you can score the goals, so forgive me, but I'm not really going over the attacking play much at all, because there really isn't that much to go over. But once you get your 5 goals, now this is whether it's 5-1 or 5-0 really, but especially if it's 5-0, at that point, guys, no risky passes. Protect that clean sheet with your life. I think the clean sheet's worth like 200 points, yeah? So assume that you're 5-0 up and you've literally only had 5 shots on target, which were your 5 goals. You've still got, nice goal there from Hazard, he's amazing by the way. If you still need to get your shots on targets and your corners, that's only going to get you another 150 points, right? So if you go busting the gut to get those corners and get the shots on target, let's assume that you do get them all, but you end up going and conceding that goal, you're on a 50 points deficit. So the clean sheet really is the key, especially as you know that people really struggle to keep them. So if you can keep the clean sheets, you're going to be quids in and probably going to get a place in the top 200, or it will at least mean that you haven't got to take many games in getting to your Elite 1 finish, which is obviously time that can be spent better off elsewhere. But that being said, you can still go for the shots on targets and the corners. I'm not telling you literally to just stop playing. I'm just asking you to be really, really careful with how you approach things once you've got your 5 goals. You know, don't just go shooting from a stupid angle that you know is going to get blocked and they're going to get the ball and break on you, stuff like that, because it really isn't worth it.
Well, here's the replay, and it's a lovely quick counter.
Equally, if you're 5-1 up and you've got a decent amount of corners, and all the shots on target, say, you know, you need to think a little bit about conceding more goals. I think it's like 50 points for every goal that you concede, so you don't want to go conceding 2 or 3 goals. So don't just give up as soon as they score. You've still got to defend properly, because across your 40 games it could add up to quite a lot of points, as we see us eventually making hard work of getting to our 5 goals, but we got there pretty easily. And as you can see now, 5-0 up. I'm going to go and have a look at my statistics to see where we're at. We've only got the 1 corner and we've got 9 shots on target, so in my head I'm thinking I'm losing 100 points there, but I do have the clean sheet at the moment, so let's go cautiously and see whether we can get some corners. When I do go 5 goals up as well, I always change my player instructions a little bit so that I don't have players bombing forward, because I don't want their stamina to completely go, or I might put some fresh legs on just to make sure that I'm staying as solid as possible defensively. Now, it goes without saying, when I'm saying about not making risky passes, because the more that you give it away, the more chances that they have to score. It goes without saying, really.
They couldn't quite muster a real threat.
Another thing, if you haven't got a Dama Traore, go and buy him, because when you're trying to get corners or the shots on target, bringing him on for the final 15-20 minutes makes life a lot easier, because he is so quick, as you all know. He can just zoom past defenders, and a lot of the time he will end up getting you a lot more points. He's literally like 4 or 5k now, so yeah, I would strongly advise to go and get him. So hopefully you can see here that I'm not being overly risky with what I'm doing, but I'm getting into positions and I feel like the referee is just screwing me over in terms of like winning corners sometimes. If it looks like it's gone off the man but hasn't. But right, corner technique. This is what I do. I literally just play it short, wait for the player to come in short and just absolutely leather it against his shins and hope that it goes out for a corner. Now, this doesn't always work, but I've had it sometimes where I've literally had it work 10 times in a row and got all of my corners. Now that is completely risk-free, which is terrific. Sometimes I've done it 2 or 3 times and it hasn't worked at all, but that's the way that I try and get my corners. So yeah, give that one a go. Sorry. The other thing that I'm going to touch on, and I did a video on this, but if you're 5-0 up, even if you're 5-1 and you've got all the corners and all of the shots on targets, it's advisable to then hold the ball. You don't want to be playing, do you? Because that can give the AI a chance to intercept, tackle you, and potentially score goals. As we see our corner technique coming in here again. See there, off the defender, out for a corner. Lovely job, Lee. So, I did a video a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't quite call it a glitch, but it is a bit strange that you can get away with it. What I do when I just want to hold the ball is I play the ball to my right back or my left back and I just dribble round in a little circle using the left analog stick. Now I've done that since the patch as well. I just did it this morning actually with Furlan Mendy and did it for a whole half against a high rated team on Legendary, and it played out a whole half me just dribbling round in a tiny little circle, and for some reason they just don't come and pressurise you. I'll put a link to that into this video if any of you are interested in that. But that's a way of basically securing your clean sheet in my eyes. Once you've got once you're as far as you want to go basically with your corners and shots on target, it's great to do that, and it just confirms your clean sheet for you. So yeah, have a look out for that. So we're approaching the end of the game here, guys. I hope that this has answered a lot of your questions. I know you're all at different points and at different skill levels. Apologies if we're going over old ground on some of it. Apologies if some of it doesn't help you, but I know that what I've said will definitely be helping someone somewhere. Lots of different points and aspects. If you've got any questions, pop it in the comment section and I will try and help as much as I can. I'm not claiming to know everything, but I do get top 200 every week playing solo, so I'd like to think that I know what I am doing. It's going to be custom tactics and formation video coming up later this week, so keep an eye out for that, and this will be sort of attached on to the back of this video with the relevance, but it will be on Friday. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at the stats, but that is going to be it for today, guys. Really appreciate you being here. Drop a like if you've liked what you've seen, and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye bye.